Hey everyone, championship NFL weekend. We're going to know here Sunday night who's going to be playing in the Super Bowl in a couple weeks. I'm Tony George from Doc Sports. Thumbs up, subscribe, all those good things. We'll notify you when we got some freebies out, myself or any of the cappers here at Docs. We'll tell you how to get a good solid weekend, for $60 worth of it for free anyway, in just a minute. But let's talk about these games this weekend. A lot of excitement. One thing I've found over 33 years of doing this is that most people will listen to opinions, not necessarily buy them on these side and totals because they've made up their mind who they want to bet. You know, either side or total. They just figured out they've got their own opinion, which is cool. You can leave yours in the comment section. We'll approve them if they're viable. But you got sharp lines. You got the four left standing in the entire NFL. Every one of these teams is a good football team. Every one of them is well coached. Every one of them is led by a superstar quarterback. It's just a recipe, in my opinion, to where in these big games like this, it's going to come down to 2 or 3 plays. That's it. That's what it's going to boil down to. Whether it be a special teams play, special teams blunder, key turnover, key 4th and 1, some sort of bonehead penalty, personal foul or something stupid, late in the game that turns the tide, that takes away field position, whatever. Somebody going forward on 4th down, inside the 3-yard line, to try and get to a Super Bowl, and they don't get it, or they do get it. It's going to boil down to stuff like that. Key turnover, maybe a big pass play, that's what it's going to boil down to. That's how close it is. There's a path for both underdogs and both favorites to get to the Super Bowl. And every team has a path to get there against their opponent if things work out. So, FYI, me personally, we'll tell you what we got going on here in just a minute over at the website. We got 2 side plays and a teaser. That's what I got going on. No top picks. We will in the prop market, and that's how you really want to attack this weekend. The prop market is soft, and we've been exposing it all year long, documented, and we're going to do it again on Sunday, and so just stay tuned for that. But this game between Kansas City and Buffalo, now they met last year in the postseason. Kansas City went out there as an underdog, punked them in their own house. That game combined 48 first downs, 729 yards, and 51 points. Week 11 this year, I believe it was week 11, don't quote me. Another game involving 51 points between these two. Kansas City goes out to Buffalo and gets beat. 43 first downs, 625 yards. The total's 48.5. Kansas City's now up to 2 as a favorite. So the total's been going up. Now, I live here in Kansas City. I was going to go to the game. I went last week, but I'm not going to go this week. I'm going to end up with some friends hanging out. But the weather's going to be decent. It's going to be better than it was last week. The last week, it was just absolutely frigid. It's going to be 30-ish. No rain or wetness. 5 mile an hour, 8 mile an hour winds, nothing special. So, and both these are cold weather teams, so that's not going to phase them. The weather's not going to even be a factor in the ball game unless something crazy happens overnight, which I've been watching the forecast. But the one thing I will tell you is playoff football's different. There's a lot on the line here. Kansas City is going to go to try and win a 3rd Super Bowl, which has never been done. Buffalo's trying to knock them off the top of the mountain. They're 0-3 against Kansas City in the postseason, in the Mahomes-Allen era. They're evenly matched. A lot of stars on offense, two superstar quarterbacks that can both get it done. But it's Kansas City's defense that's gotten them to this point this year. They had 8 sacks last week on Stroud. Buffalo's defense held Henry to 84 yards, which is a feat. Baltimore has a lot better running game than what Kansas City does with Hill and Henry. But at day's end, Kansas City's MO this year is they're no good. And, somehow they, with their starters, forget the Denver game, but with their starters, they had one loss all year long, but somehow they suck. Well, this is because they're not putting up 35 a game. It's not the greatest show on turf like back in the day with Kurt Warner and the Rams. They've done it with defense and a more conservative game plan. And I don't think they're going to go away from that formula. Steve Spagnuolo has done a hell of a job with this defense this year. And unlike years past, Kansas City's defense was, we'll just outscore everybody. This year, they're winning with defense. Their defense has been good all year. And then in years past, their defense was middle of the road at best. But when it come playoff time, they were shut down defense. They just played very, very well. They played very well all year long this year, and I expected them to play very well in this game. And I expect Buffalo's defense to play very well. Against the Kansas City offense, it's, barely scratching 20-some points a game. It's just different. There's so much on the line here. I think it's going to be a tightly contested, down-to-the-wire football game. I don't think one team's ever going to be at the point where they're blowing out the other team, which means, we're going to pass in every play going for broke. I think it's going to be a much more controlled environment for both teams. I'm going to play the under 48.5. Now, we have side plays in both games and a same-day teaser involving both games for a 3-pack, a 3 and a 4 unit pick, and then a 2-unit teaser. The real value lies with the prop market. Now, we had 2 7-unit props last week. Cashed them both. We've had 28 top plays of 6 or 7-unit props. Never had a 8-unit prop. Might tomorrow or on Sunday. I'm taping this on Saturday. But that's where the value lies in these side and totals are sharp. I mean, there are other guys I'm sure to have 7 or 8 unit plays out this weekend on a side or a total one of these games. I mean, personally, I don't see it. I don't put out top picks in championship games because they're championship games for a reason. Nobody's here by accident. But the value lies in the prop market. We put out 28 top picks all year and hit 21 of them. 6 or 7 unit plays. Have a losing prop card all last weekend. We're going to have at least a 7-unit top play, 5 or a 6-pack, probably a 6-pack. I'll have 3 props in each game. Those cards are $25 at DocSports.com. Free $60, link in the description below. Never been a member of Docs, we'll park $60 in your account. Comes with a profit guarantee and no hassles. You can get the card for free. You have any confusion about that? You expand the description below. Go to the website. There's a tab that says free 60. Click on it. I think you enter in your email address. And you're in. Create a member number or member ID, whatever. 0 hassles. Get paid on Sunday. College basketball, NBA, NHL, props. We're ready to go. Let's get it done. We swept last weekend in the NFL. Going to do it again this weekend. Next time I talk to you, we'll know who's in the Super Bowl.